Everything is preparation. When we focus on the things that aren't going our way, we tend to breed more of that. At the end of the year, you don't want to be thinking about all the things that you should be doing next year or want to do next year from a place of lack. You want to be thinking about all the things that you should be doing next year and want to do next year from a place of gratitude. Hello. Hi. Hello and welcome back to another episode of A Black Girl's Orbit. I am your host, Zara. I will be your host from now until forever, I hope. Hi, this is episode 4. We're officially a month in. This is crazy. This podcast was made in the hopes of creating space for women and black women specifically to come and share their experiences, relate within their experiences and their nuances and the differences that we all have within our orbits, and the things that we go through. I share a lot of my stories on here, and it's been a journey. Like, we're only 4 episodes in, and I would say it's a month in. It's been quite cool. I feel like this is a little therapy session for me, even though I'm filming it for you all. It's a therapy session for me. Like, there was an episode where I was saying something and I didn't realize that I was saying it until afterwards. I was watching it back and I was like, oh, that was for me. Like, oh, Zara, you was preaching for you. Like, that was for you to take in and understand. So it's been good. It's been great. Today we are talking all things New Year's. I hope everyone had a good Christmas. It's Boxing Day currently and I'm filming because this episode needs to go out tomorrow because I've been lacking on my filming. I was supposed to film on Tuesday, didn't because it was Christmas Eve. Then obviously not going to film Wednesday. Now it's Thursday. Have to do it because I need to edit it today and post it tomorrow. But we're going to get it done. We're sticking to our word. We're showing up for ourselves. We're locked in. We're going all in on ourselves this year into next year. And so this episode is all things New Year's. Because I feel like let's start from the get-go. I feel like we tend to, or even our brains tends to focus on the negatives, right? That's literally what we're wired to do. See the flaws, see the negatives, see the danger and attack it or address it or, keep an eye on it. That's what our brains are wired to do. We don't necessarily sit down 24/7 thinking about all the great things. We have to wire our brains to do that ourselves. We have to go in and tweak it and decide, okay, cool, I'm going to do gratitude every single morning. I'm going to say 3 things that I'm grateful for before I go to bed every night. I'm going to pray about all the things that I'm happy and so grateful for and, proud of in my life. We have to hardwire our brains to do that. It's not predisposed to that. We're predisposed to see danger or to see the negative or to analyze what's wrong. That's what we're predisposed to do. So it can become very easy at the end of the year to sit down and be like, oh, this wasn't good and that wasn't good and I should have done this and I should have showed up for myself in this area and I should be better at that and I need to get better at this and next year I want to change this and redo that and rebrand this and rebirth in this way. And it's like, okay, cool, great. I understand. We all have things that we want to get better at and we all have things that we think we wish we could have done, should have done better this year. Everybody has that. Even if you had the best year, there's always something that you could be doing better or getting better at, right? So I get it. But before we do that, it's become common practice for me, especially this year and last year, to reflect on all the good first before I start thinking about all the things I need to change, because I tend to overanalyze myself. I am very quick to be like, okay, well, next year I need to do this and I need to fix this and I'm going to get better at that. And sometimes I need to go back, rewind the tape before I go and sit down and do the vision board, before I go and sit down and do the goal setting, before I go and sit down and say, I want this and I want this life and I'm going to do these things differently next year. I sit down and I have to go, let's go over the year. Let's do a life audit, if you will, and just think about all the things that I've done good in every area of my life. What's one thing or at least 2 things that I'm proud of or did good at or achieved in every area? And sometimes that for your brain can feel like a really exhausting exercise because you might not think of something straight away. Like if you hate your job, you might be like, listen, I hate my job. There's nothing good about my career at the moment. I hate it. I don't want to be there. I've had a terrible year there. It's gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. But maybe you've been early to work every single day. Maybe you've got a friend at work that you wouldn't have met if you didn't start that job. Maybe that job creates enough income for you to do the things that you love outside of the job that you hate. There's something in every area that you feel like you've done well at, or there's something to be grateful for there. I feel like it brings you back to a place of, okay, maybe it wasn't all bad. Maybe it wasn't all terrible, right? And the first time I started thinking about this thing to do, I was watching a podcast episode and they were interviewing Roxy Nafusi. I think that's how you say her name. Please don't quote me on it. I don't want to mispronounce anybody's names, but I believe that's how you say it. And she, in her book, she was talking about, she has a children's book as well. And obviously gratitude is a big part of manifestation, even if you're Christian, even if you're from any religion that doesn't believe in manifestation. We are constantly manifesting things. If you're doing it through prayer and asking, it to be given to you by God. If you're doing it and asking it to be given to you by whoever you believe in, we are constantly, transmuting energy. And sometimes it's even just like, if we're angry, we make other people angry because we're angry. All of that is just, even at like a scientific level, we just transmute the energy that we have. We transmute it. It transfers. It doesn't disappear. So she was talking about in the book that she wrote for children, that one of the practices at the end of every day, bless me, at the end of every day is that she will sit down with her son and ask him all the good things that happen in his day, starting from the morning to the night, right? And as an adult, this is a really good practice too, but because we can get to the end of the day and feel overwhelmed, we haven't finished our to-do list, especially as mums, we haven't finished our to-do list, children did this, that one fell off something, ended up in A&E, whatever, didn't get to cook, had to order out, and you had all of these expectations at the beginning of the morning. You started your day off right, you had written your to-do list, and none of it happened. Some of it happened, but not the things that you wanted to, or someone had a tantrum and it completely derailed your day, or you had to go to A&E and it completely derailed your day because someone's hurt themselves. Anything can happen, but children as well tend to focus on their biggest emotion, and most of the time that can be like anger or pain or hurt, right? And they forget that, or maybe I got my favorite breakfast, or maybe mum read me a book, or maybe, that stuff. And to make them at the end of the day be like, yeah, you know what? In the morning, mum woke me up. I was really happy. I had a good night's sleep. I was ready to go. And then I had my favorite breakfast. I have my favorite cereal for breakfast, and I was really happy about it. Then I got to play for 2 hours of the day, and I was really happy about it. I got this new toy and I really loved it, right? Then they start to focus on all the good. And before they know it, they don't even remember the bad. They don't remember that they stubbed their toe. They don't remember that they cut their knee. They don't remember that they didn't get what they wanted to eat for dinner. Maybe they do. But they're more focusing on the good stuff, and it lets them go to sleep in a state of gratitude. They don't know what gratitude is yet. They may do, but for a lot of children, they might not know what gratitude is yet and understand it, but they're happy. And they go to bed thinking about all the good things that's happened in their day. And we should do that as adults. Yes, there are things that might happen throughout our day, but when we focus on the negative, when we focus on the things that aren't going our way, we tend to breed more of that, right? Or it just upsets us. Even if you don't think it's going to breed more of it, it's just going to upset you. And you're going to keep reliving it over and over and over again in your brain. And our bodies can't feel two emotions at once. We can only feel one emotion at one time. If you're angry, you're angry, it leaves. You're happy, it leaves, right? So if you're in pain, and it will leave. But if we continuously, like say something happens, we get angry about it. If we continue relive it over and over and over and over in our brains, that's when we stay angry. right? Because if we just move on, children feel something, they hurt themselves, they stub their teeth, they cry, they stub their toe, they cry a little bit. You get them something to eat, they're like, oh, what toe? I'm fine. I'm not angry anymore. I'm not upset anymore. I'm not in pain anymore. I'm fine. I got my snack, right? Or they'll be laughing 1 second and crying the next because they were happy and now they're sad about something. They go through emotions so fast, and because they're not thinking about the thing that happened the second ago, they're constantly in the present. Whereas adults constantly ruminate or tend to ruminate in the future or the past. That's how we have depression and anxiety, right? And so when it comes to the end of every day, we really should be sitting down and being like, you know what, maybe I didn't get X, Y, and Z done, but I did do this, this, and this. I did have X, Y, and Z, and I'm really happy about it. I'm really happy about it. Or even if there's nothing, you know what, my child's healthy, I'm happy. Like, even at that level, you're good. You know, things could be a lot worse. Or maybe they are bad, but one good thing happened in your day, and that's what you focus on, you know? And it's not easy. This is all easier said than done. It's way easier said than done. But when you make it a practice, especially with big things like at the end of the year when you want to go into the new year and you're thinking about all the things that you should have done, would have done this year, and you want to do better next year, doing the reflection first on all the good makes you look at what you should be doing next year in a different light, right? Like, for example, I was like, okay, I'm doing a challenge at the moment on TikTok that I want to change my life in 90 days because I turned 24 in March, and there's just certain things that I feel like I kind of lost within myself when I became a mum. Not that I miss them, not that I miss them, because I want to be a different version of myself, a better version of myself. But for example, I was working. I'm not working anymore, right? And I lost the drive to work. I couldn't care less about a job. couldn't care less about a job, honestly, really and truly. And I don't want to care about a job. But it was the opportunity to be like, okay, instead of being like, oh, you know, I was so passionate about the work that I was doing before, and now I have a child, and, you know, I don't care about that stuff anymore. I'm stuck at home with baby, whatever. I was like, okay, maybe you are not in your dream career at the moment, and you do have goals and aspirations outside of your child. What good has happened since you stopped working and stayed at home with baby? My baby. I have been able to watch him and see him grow and thrive, right? I've been able to be at home and not have to worry about how I'm going to provide for him. I've just been able to be here and be here for him and show up for him fully through these stages. Not everybody gets to do that. I'm grateful, right? I didn't have to rush back to a job. The job that I had, they were like, take what you need. Take your time. Come back when you're ready. I'm grateful, right? And because I've been at home, and because I've been able to, because I've changed so much in motherhood, in the things that I now prioritize, in the things that I now care about, I've been able to sit down and be like, okay, I've had the time to think about my dream career. What actually do I want to do? Because if I don't want to just leave my child for a job, for a check, because that's not what I want to do, what do I want to do? If there was anything that I would be okay with leaving my child for, what would it be? Right? And for that, I'm grateful. Not everybody gets a chance to sit down and be like, oh, you know what? I have X amount of months to chase my dreams. I have this amount of time to go all in on the thing that I'm passionate about. Not everybody has that, and I'm grateful, right? But if I had sat there and been like, you know, I'm not working and I've not been able to do anything, and I don't have a career outside my child, and my whole life revolves around him now, and I just need to do, it's just been so bad because, you know, I haven't done it. I would just ruminate in that, right? And I wouldn't change anything because I would be ruminating in the fact that, you know, I haven't got a job and this and that and da-da-da. Or I need to go back to work and this and that, and he's about to start nursery, and oh my gosh, what are we going to do? What can you do? What can you change? And you have been given a chance to do it in the way that you want. Here you go. Be passionate. Chase that. Be artistic. Be be in your creativity, go and figure it out, and then come back and see what you've done. And then if you haven't, cool, let's go find a job. But the fact that I have been able to do that, and I've given myself that time to do that, and I've been given that time to do that, and still be here with my child through this entire process, is a blessing. And I have to understand that, and I had to take that in, and I had to sit with that. And it completely changed my mindset. It even made me want to do more. It was like, all right, well, you have been given this chance to go and chase and do and do the thing that you're passionate about, and still fully show up in motherhood. Yes, it's going to be hard now to do those two things at the same time. It's like, why didn't you do this before you had the baby? But we digress. That doesn't matter. We're doing it now. And I get to do it, right? And I'm like, oh, wow. So, okay, cool. Let's go 10 toes in then. Like, let's see how quick we can get it done. Can we do it by 24? Can we make content creation and podcasting our job by the time we turn 24? Like, can we do it in 3 months? And if we are going to do it in 3 months, what do we need to do? Okay, cool. Let's make some goal setting. What do we want by 24? Do we just want to make content creation our full-time job, or do we have other things that we wish we could do as part of that, right? And then your brain starts going, oh wow, okay, yeah, we could do this, we could do that, or like we could do this and we could add that, and I can do a little bit more of that. And oh my gosh, now we're in the creative side of our brain, we're in the passionate side of our brain, we're in the passion driven side of our brain, we're in the gratitude side of our brain, and we are now imagining all the possibilities. That's where you want to be. You know, at the end of the year, you don't want to be thinking about all the things that you should be doing next year or want to do next year from a place of lack. You want to be thinking about all the things that you should be doing next year and want to do next year from a place of gratitude. That was a word. I didn't even think about it like that, but that's true. You want to be thinking, okay, cool. Maybe listen, sometimes the negativity does get you far. Like let's talk about it. Let's play devil's advocate for a second. Sometimes the negativity will get you far. For example, there's a teacher who said, I'll never make it. And I'm like, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to prove that teacher wrong because he made me feel some type of way. Yes, I can still get those things done and I can make it. And at the end of it, I'm going to say, what? I proved you wrong. Cool, great. But like, are we happy about it? Like, are we actually happy about it? Is it actually something that we wanted to do, or did we just do it because we was in such a negative place? Do you get what I mean? It can get done, and listen, all energy is energy. You can transmute negative energy into something positive. 110% you can. But when you want to enjoy the journey and not ruminate in the negativity, sometimes it's easier, it's nicer, it's better for your health if you take that process in a positive light. You know? So, yeah. I've been able to do that and say, okay, cool. You've been given this chance, Zara. Now what do you want for next year? Maybe you are not in the career that you want to, but you're grateful for what you have been able to do at home with your child and be here and watch him grow. So for the next 90 days, what are you going to go 10 toes in for, right? What are you going to look in for? What are you going to put your all in for? And if you can make it happen by the time you turn 24, you could get yourself a reward. You could give yourself a nice, pretty reward, you know? So that's what I've been thinking about. You have to reflect before you want the rebrand, and positively reflect. Don't negatively, but you can negatively reflect, but try it. Like, try to do the positive reflection and see how the goals change. See how the steps change, you know? Because they might be completely different goals if you're coming from a place of gratitude compared to if you're coming from a place of negative and what I need to fix and change and do and succeed in next year and lack, right? So that's what I was doing. That's what I have been doing. And that's what I've been I spent the first 5 days of my 90-day challenge planning everything out, and I made a digital workbook for it. I did not know that I would go down like my content creation route dream thing that I want to be would go down digital products. That's not the route that I thought I would take at all. But in this season, because I'm going down the route of gratitude, and because I'm going down a route of chasing my dreams, I didn't have all the steps. I put my arms up and I said, I don't have all the steps. I don't have all of the equipment. I don't have all of the answers. I can't see the end result. I can't fully see down this journey and this path. I have no idea. I have kind of a recollection of what I want it to look like and the life that I want it to look like, the life that I want to be in, the life I want to give my son, but I can't see all the steps. I don't really know how I'm going to get there. I can only see, and Spirit only showed me the first step. Just show up, right? And that's what my first episode was about. Show up as you are in this moment. You don't have all the equipment yet? Cool. You don't have all of the fancy lights and cameras. You don't have all the fancy editing yet? Cool. Show up as you are. If this is what you want and you're going to take it seriously, just start it. Start doing it. Start showing up. And that wasn't easy for me, but I did it. And because I'm a perfectionist and I'm quite controlling, I want to see everything. I want you to tell me the 5-step plan of how we're going to get to this goal. Spirit, I need you to show me every step that I'm going to take. I need you to show me every single episode that I'm going to upload. And it's like, maybe not. Maybe you trust in me. Maybe you trust in yourself that the steps will come as they need to, right? That the dominoes will fall when they're supposed to, that the opportunities will align themselves when they need to, right? And when I'm ready, when I'm supposed to be ready, when I will be ready in divine timing. And I had to take that first step, and it was like, okay, I still can't see. I'm doing it anyway. I'm doing it blind. I'm doing it scared, and I still can't see. And over time, everything will start coming. It will just start coming. And so I didn't know that I was going to make a digital product. All I knew is that I was starting this journey of, I'm going to show up as I am, and I'm trying to change my life, and I'm trying to go for my goals and still be a mum and still be at home with baby and still fully give myself to motherhood. And I found myself making a TikTok video about a life audit, right? And this is what I was saying before, because I was trying to figure out, okay, cool, I want to go and set all my goals out. Like, I want to write down all my goals. And so I was searching TikTok for like, okay, goal setting. And I wanted to go and do my vision board, right, for the next 90 days in my 90-day challenge that I was going to set myself up on. And even just like with the podcast and everything, I wanted to do my goals, and I wanted to figure out the steps that I was going to take, because I was looking for a plan. How was I going to plan this journey? And I found loads and loads of videos, of course. Loads and loads of videos on TikTok of how to do a perfect vision board, what vision board is perfect, what to do before the vision board, how to do the goal setting. Before you do the vision board, you need to do a life audit. Before you do the goal setting, you need to figure out where you are currently. And all of this was confusing me. So I took a few videos that I liked the most and I thought made the most sense, wrote it all down, the steps, filmed a video, because I was like, well, if I'm searching for different things, then maybe somebody else just wants one video that they can go and find. Film that video. From that video, I was looking at the notes and I was like, I could turn this into a workbook for myself. I like workbooks. I like writing down everything in person. I want to see it all. I want it to be all in one place. I don't want to write my goal setting and my life audit in my diary and then make a vision board. I want everything to be all in one place. Sat down one night when my baby was asleep and I outlined an entire workbook. This thing is like 40 something pages, right? I was like, bruh, Zara, you just created a digital product. You know that, right? Like, you know that, right? I didn't. And I also didn't know what the hell to do next. Turns out there was a mutual friend that I made. Yeah, that like we've been following each other on TikTok for a little bit now. Um, and she had a business, and I saw like on her link that she already has like a standstill with digital products. On a whim, I was like, I know we don't know each other, but I feel like I know you. Please, can you help me with this thing? Can you just have a look at it? I don't even know if it's good. And if it is good, I don't know how much I'm supposed to sell it for. And if I do sell it, I don't know where and how and all of these things. We're both mums. So she took herself a minute. I had to take myself a minute and be like, don't rush, calm down. You've taken the first step, right? Even sending it to her was a lot for me. She sent me back some feedback, and then she was like, yeah, I think this is great. You should do X, Y, and Z. I was like, oh, okay. Now let me go and do my YouTube research. How do I upload a digital product? How do I make a stand store? How do I upload the PDF from the Canva to the stand store? All of these things, understanding it. And I can tend to rush a process because I'm controlling. I can tend to rush a process. And having my child taught me, maybe not, maybe don't rush it, right? I was like, oh, at the beginning of December, I want it to be out because, people should want this 5-step process to get their dream life. Like they should want that before the new year. And it was like, well, maybe it's not done yet. How about that? Maybe you go through it and make sure that there's no spelling mistakes. How about you how about you go through it and make sure that all the capitals are capitals? And how about you go through it and make sure that you can actually do it? Can you actually do it? You haven't filled it out yet. What about that? How are you going to sell this thing? Huh? And I was like, oh, okay. Maybe I'm rushing a step or two. So I figured it all out. It took me like a week to just go through it and make it feel like I was happy with it and I was proud of it. Then I uploaded it, and then I started the 90-day challenge. And for the first 5 days, I went through the workbook of planning, right? And while I've only made 2 sales, those are 2 sales. That's money that I didn't have before. And this is also in a place where I didn't even think I was going to make money regardless. This is not something that I asked for. It is like in the grand scheme of things, you want to be making money from your content, but I didn't know it would be through a digital product. And that is why you don't have to see all the steps. You don't. The next step after I did it was like, okay, cool. Prove to everyone, prove to yourself that this workbook is going to change your life. If you prove to yourself that this workbook is going to change your life, then when you're talking about it to other people, you're going to be able to tell them that it's going to change their lives, right? Don't just make this thing, put it out there, and you don't know if it's going to change your life. What steps are you going to take to show up for yourself and your product now? How much faith do you have in your product, and how much faith do you have in Spirit, that Spirit gave you all the tools that you need in this moment to get you from A to B? Okay. Right? Okay. Let me reassess. How am I going to prove to myself that this digital product is going to work? I'm going to do a 90-day challenge. I'm going to see. The workbook is for the entire year. It takes you through every single quarter of the year, how to do a life audit, a positive life audit, do a goal setting, do actionable steps, do the vision board. It takes you through the entire process. Oh, yeah. Life audit, goal setting, actionable steps, put those actionable steps and goals into quarters, and then do your vision board. It takes you through all those 5 things. Then it will take you through a check-in every quarter so that you can see, okay, cool. At the end of this quarter, I was chasing these dreams, these goals. Did I reach them? Cool. How am I going to tweak it for the next quarter? How am I going to tweak it for next quarter? And so on and so on and so on. Then it has an end of year review. Cool. I said, well, we want to speed this up. If I want this workbook to change my life, maybe I do the first quarter and I document it. Cool. I can do that. I don't know how. And because I'm the perfectionist, I'm like, well, when people do 90-day challenge, it's like a voiceover over these like montages right? It's like a montage and it's so inspirational. And, you see them lose like 50 pounds in 90 days. And you see the montage and it's like them going on a run every morning and it's motivational. And I can't film that with the baby. I can't film that around my baby. Okay, Zara. So what can you film then? Maybe just show up as you are. Okay, I could do that. Right? I could do that. I did the planning process and now we're in the check-ins. I'm just doing accountable check-ins every single day. Okay, today I was supposed to do this, this, and this for my content. Have I done it? I did do it. Then the baby woke up. I did this and then I had to go and feed the baby. I did this and then I had a really bad night because of sleep training, right? Show it. Show the realness. Show the realness. Show where you are at this current moment. Because if this is the hero arc that you want it to be, by the 90th day, on your 24th birthday, you could do the montage. You could do the voiceover. It can be really inspirational. But you're not there yet. So how about you show up where you are? And where you are is just trying as you go. You're in the trial and error phase. You're in the trying to chase your dreams while fully being immersed in motherhood. That's where you're at. Show that. Be that. Right? And as time goes on, you'll get more and more comfortable. I'm getting more and more comfortable in showing a little bit of the process, in talking about where I am in motherhood, in showing up as who I actually am. And you tend to find yourself as well. Like, I'm finding myself in this process. I'm finding myself in this podcast. If you have seen episode 1, I don't know if you have, but if you have seen or listened to episode 1, it's a mess. It's not a mess. It's who I am, but I hadn't been talking on a mic in a very long time, so the message isn't all the way there. I'm kind of explaining stuff, going and switching between stuff, right? The second episode is way more cohesive, coherent, condensed. It makes a lot of sense and it got a lot of traction. The third one, I felt like was really for me and for some people who can relate to it and some people won't. And now we're here talking about our New Year's goals and resolutions, but from a reflection side, right? So the steps will come. The things that you want may be in the rear view. You might not know how to get there or get back there or get to it or get in front of it. We might have no idea, but it will happen. You just have to take the first step, right? And maybe look at it from a different angle. Look at it from what you do have and what you have been able to do and what you are grateful for, right? And all the skills that you have learned. We were just previously saying that, you might have a job that you hate, but if you look at all the good things that came out of that job, maybe it's going to put a spin on what you're able to do next year, right? Everything is preparation. Everything is preparation. Everything is preparation. Even the darkest, dreariest, most traumatic experience is preparation for something. We don't have to be happy about it. It doesn't have to be okay. It doesn't have to be okay. But it is. It just is, right? So you might not like that career. You might hate the career that you're in currently. You might hate the job. But there's lessons and skills that you've learned there that's going to be so valuable for the next thing or for the dream job or to get you that dream job. Or even in the simplest form, you have learned to stick around or to stick it out in a terrible situation, in something that you don't want to do. And you will be rewarded for it. If you make it work the way that you know how, you could be rewarded for it, There's lessons to be learned everywhere, and sometimes you just have to see it in that positive light. And so I don't know if I have anything else more to say, but going into your new year, and I hope we all sit down on New Year's. If you're going out to party, go party, woo woo. Live your life. I will be here with my partner and my baby, reflecting on my year and reflecting on my year in a good way, in a positive way, as much as I know how. Don't get it twisted. Sometimes I need to go in the journal and just write all the things that I'm angry about and that I hate and that I wish I could have done better. Yes. Sometimes you just need to rip it out the journal, burn it, and get rid of it. Throw it out the window. I've written it down now. I've left it here. It's been left in 2024. And on the next page, you write all the positive things and all the things that you're grateful for from 2024, right? And on the next page, you write all the things that you want for 2025. And if you want the workbook, I will link it below. Because sometimes all we need is one place to put everything. All of the goals, all of the actionable steps, exactly how we're going to get there, and then the place to review them, right? Sometimes all you need is one place. I needed one place, and I needed a book, a workbook that made me feel like when I opened it, yeah, Zara, you're going all in on you. Like, yeah, this is for you. You are going to be obsessed with yourself and your goals in 2025. That's what you're going to do. You are going to be fully locked in with yourself and your goals for 2025. You are not going to look left and compare yourself to this person. You're not going to look right and compare yourself to that career. You are going to dial in on you. And sometimes all you need is a book or one place that's going to get you there. Some people do, some people don't. Some people are fine with taking information from multiple sources and then picking the ones that they want. I'm like, I just need one. I just need you to give me the most easiest, simplest, quickest place to gain the information and fill it out. That's what I want, right? And so I made it for myself, and we're going through it. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, please do follow me on TikTok. We are on this journey, and I am on this journey of seeing if I can change my life in 90 days, and that includes the podcast. When I mean I am doing a lot for this podcast, maybe I could do more, but right now I'm trying my hardest. And if I'm trying my hardest, I'm doing everything that I can. I am posting shorts every single day. I'm filming once a week. I want to get it to 2 times a week just so that I'm kind of a week or 2 ahead, because sometimes things happen with baby. Like this week, it was Christmas and I was supposed to film on Tuesday. We had to wrap presents and I didn't, right? So now I'm filming the day before. So I want to get to the point where I'm a week ahead. I may or may not, but I'm still going to keep myself accountable. I'm showing up, right? And then on my side of content creation, I am posting twice a day on TikTok. I'm repurposing that TikTok post into a YouTube short. I am posting the podcast clips also on Instagram, and it's not getting any traction. Like, we have 2 followers, but it's fine. I'm still going to do it. I'm going to show up, because maybe, I don't know. Spirit will have to let me know when we get there. But maybe this journey isn't for me to gain thousands and billions of followers by the time I turn 24. Maybe it's just for some character development. Like, okay, Zara, build the resilience and build the consistency to continuously do what you need to do and show up every single day in every single way, regardless of the outcome, regardless of the results, regardless of the recognition, regardless of the reward. Put in the effort every single day. And maybe we'll see what happens and we'll see what comes out of that. And even if nothing comes out of it, you have grown and changed and evolved as a person. You have learned so much about yourself. You have put in the effort. You have gained confidence in yourself. You have learned to trust in yourself, right? Because before I would be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. Don't do it. I'm going to post twice a day. Didn't do it. I'll do it tomorrow. Didn't do it. Now it's like, I don't care what time it is. Even if it's 2 minutes to 12, I'm going to post the video just to tell myself that I did it. I did it. You didn't miss a day. You haven't missed a day. Right? So we will see how this goes. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you're still here. If you're still here, please leave a comment on YouTube. Let me know what you took, or what was the best thing that you took from this episode, or what you resonated most with this episode. I really want this space to be a community. I want us to debrief every YouTube video. I want us to debrief every topic that we talk about here, because that's what this place is for, you know? So yeah, and if you're listening, rate the podcast. Rate us, please. Thank you. I don't know how Spotify works, but just review, I guess, maybe something. I have been your host, Zara, and you have entered a Black Girl's Orbit. Hopefully, I will see you next week. We will see you next week. And until then, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I wish you all the blessings in the world going into your new year.